Captain Daniel Mercer stood alone on the bridge of the UHS Endeavour. The ship was quiet now. Too quiet. He looked out at the stars and remembered better days. Days when Earth had many warships. Days when humanity was strong. Now the Endeavour was all that remained. The war with the Draconis Empire had been brutal. Earth lost almost everything. Hundreds of ships were destroyed. Thousands of brave soldiers died defending their home. The Endeavour survived only because it was far away, getting repairs when the final battle happened. Daniel touched the cold metal wall of his ship. The Endeavour was humanity's last hope. It carried the best weapons Earth ever made. The ship had strong shields and powerful cannons. But one ship could not win a war, could it? "Captain, we have a signal," said Lieutenant Tasha Rodriguez. Her voice broke the silence. Tasha was his second in command. She was smart and brave. Daniel trusted her completely. "Put it through," Daniel ordered. Static filled the bridge. Then a desperate voice came through the speakers. "This is Colony Gamma 7. We are under attack. The Draconis are destroying everything. Please help us. We have families here. Children, please." The message ended suddenly. Daniel felt anger rise in his chest. The Draconis showed no mercy. They attacked weak colonies. They killed innocent people. "We must go," Tasha said firmly. "They need us." Daniel knew she was right, but he also knew the danger. The Endeavour was just one ship. The Draconis had many warships. Going to Gamma 7 could be a death sentence, but what choice did they have? If humanity gave up now, everything was lost. Every sacrifice would mean nothing. "All crew, prepare for battle," Daniel announced over the ship's speakers. "A colony needs our help. We are the last warship of Earth. Today we show the Draconis what humans can do. We fight for our people. We fight for our future." The crew moved quickly to their stations. In the engine room, Zara Velasquez worked on the power systems. She was the best engineer Daniel ever knew. She could make the ship do impossible things. In the medical bay, Dr. Aaron Patel prepared for wounded soldiers. He organized supplies and checked equipment. His hands were steady. His face was calm. The Endeavour's engines roared to life. The ship jumped into faster-than-light travel. Space blurred around them. They raced toward Colony Gamma 7. Daniel sat in his command chair. His mind worked through battle plans. The Draconis were strong, but they had weaknesses. They relied too much on their numbers. They thought humans were weak. That was their mistake. "How long until we arrive?" Daniel asked. 10 minutes, Tasha replied. She was checking the weapon systems. Everything had to be perfect. The minutes passed slowly. Every second felt like an hour. Daniel thought about Earth. He thought about the families on Gamma 7. He thought about all the people counting on him. Coming out of faster than light in 3, 2, 1. Tasha counted down. The Endeavour dropped back into normal space. The sight before them was terrible. Colony Gamma 7 was burning. Smoke rose from destroyed buildings. And surrounding the planet were 6 Draconis warships. Their dark hulls reflected no light. They looked like pieces of night itself. "Scan those ships," Daniel commanded. 3 cruisers, 2 destroyers, and 1 command ship, Tasha reported. "Their weapons are charged. They're still bombing the colony. 6 against 1. The odds were impossible. Any sane commander would retreat. But Daniel was not going to run. "Not today. Charge all weapons. Route maximum power to forward shields," Daniel ordered. His voice was ice cold. "We're going in. Sir, are you sure?" a young officer asked nervously. Daniel turned to look at his crew. He saw fear in some eyes, but he also saw determination. They were ready to fight. Ready to die if necessary. The Draconis think we're finished. "They think one ship cannot stop them," Daniel said. "Let's prove them wrong. For Earth, for humanity, for Earth," the crew shouted together. The Endeavour accelerated toward the enemy fleet. Its weapons powered up. Shields glowed bright blue. The last warship of humanity was going to battle. The Draconis ships detected them. They turned their weapons toward the Endeavour. Energy beams charged. Missiles locked on target. Daniel gripped his chair. "Here we go. Show them what humans are made of. Fire!" The Endeavour's main cannon fired first. A bright beam of pure energy shot across space. It hit the lead Draconis cruiser directly. The alien ship's shield sparked and failed. The beam tore through its hull like paper. "Direct hit!" Tasha shouted. "Their lead ship is damaged." The Draconis fleet responded immediately. 6 ships fired at once. Dozens of energy beams and missiles flew toward the Endeavor. The space between them lit up like fireworks. "Brace for impact," Daniel warned. The attacks hit hard. The ship shook violently. Crew members held onto their stations. Lights flickered. Alarms blared throughout the bridge. "Shields at 60%, Zara reported from engineering. "Rerouting backup power now." Daniel watched the battle display. The Draconis ships were spreading out. They were trying to surround the Endeavor. If they succeeded, the human ship would be destroyed from all sides. "We cannot let them circle us," Daniel said. "Tasha, target the destroyer on our left. Full torpedo spread." "Firing torpedoes," Tasha confirmed. 6 torpedoes launched from the Endeavor. They streaked through space, leaving bright trails behind them. The Draconis destroyer tried to dodge, but it was too slow. The torpedoes hit one after another. Explosions covered the alien ship. Its engines went dark. The destroyer began drifting helplessly. "1 down, 5 to go," Tasha said. But the victory cost them. While they focused on the destroyer, the other Draconis ships kept firing. The Endeavor took more hits. More alarms sounded. "Shields at 40%, Zara warned. "We cannot take much more." Daniel's mind raced. They needed an advantage, something unexpected. Then he saw it on his display. A smaller Draconis ship was breaking away from the battle. It was trying to escape. "That small ship," Daniel pointed. "It looks important. Maybe a command vessel." Tasha checked her scanners. "You're right, Captain. Reading high-level communication signals. Probably an officer's ship. We need that ship," Daniel decided. "If we capture their officer, we might learn their plans. Target its engines only. I want it disabled, not destroyed." "Adjusting targeting," Tasha said. Her fingers moved quickly over the controls. Firing precision shots. The Endeavor's cannons fired carefully aimed blasts. They hit the small ship's engines perfectly. The alien vessel's engines exploded, but the main hull stayed intact. The ship tumbled through space, unable to move. "Got it," Tasha exclaimed. "Engines are destroyed. The ship is dead in space. Send the boarding team," Daniel ordered. "Capture everyone inside, especially any officers." While the boarding team prepared, the Endeavor had to survive. The remaining Draconis ships were angry now. They attacked with increased fury. Energy beams crossed from every direction. "Shields at 20%, Zara shouted. "One more major hit and we're in trouble." Daniel made a quick decision. "Emergency maneuver. Dive toward the planet. Use its gravity to increase our speed." The Endeavor dove sharply toward Colony Gamma 7. The planet's gravity pulled them faster. The Draconis ships followed, but they were slower. The Endeavor gained distance. "Boarding team has entered the disabled ship," Tasha reported. "They're meeting resistance." On the small Draconis vessel, human soldiers fought alien warriors in narrow corridors. The combat was close and brutal, but human determination won. Within minutes, the boarding team secured the ship. "Captain, we have prisoners," the team leader reported, including a high-ranking officer. "He has medals and special armor. Bring him to the Endeavor immediately," Daniel commanded. "And hurry. We need to leave before the other ships surround us." The boarding team dragged their prisoners back to the Endeavor. The human ship's engines fired at maximum power. They pulled away from the planet and the chasing Draconis fleet. "They're pursuing us," Tasha warned. "Let them try," Daniel said. "Plot a course through the asteroid field nearby. We'll lose them there." The Endeavor raced into a field of floating rocks. The ship twisted and turned between huge asteroids. The Draconis ships followed, but they were too big and slow. 2 of them crashed into asteroids. Their hulls cracked open. Air and fire burst into space. Finally, the Endeavor escaped. The remaining Draconis ships gave up the chase. They turned to orbit around the damaged colony. Daniel allowed himself one breath of relief. Then he headed to the brig where they held the captured officer. The Draconis officer was tall, almost 7 feet. His skin had scales like a reptile. His eyes were cold and yellow. He glared at Daniel with pure hatred. "I am Captain Daniel Mercer of Earth," Daniel said firmly. "You attacked our colony. You killed innocent people. Now you will answer our questions." The officer laughed. It was a harsh, cruel sound. "Humans are weak. You cannot stop the Draconis Empire. Your Earth will burn. All your colonies will fall." Tasha stepped forward. Her eyes were hard as steel. "We just destroyed 3 of your ships with only 1 of ours. Who looks weak now?" The officer's confidence cracked slightly. He had seen the battle. He knew the Endeavor fought well. "We know you are building something," Daniel said. "A weapon. Tell us about it." I will tell you nothing, the officer spat. Then you will stay in this cell while your empire falls, Tasha said coldly. We will win this war. With or without your help. She turned to leave. Daniel followed. But at the door, the officer's voice stopped them. You cannot win, he said quietly. Fear had entered his voice. The Starbreaker is almost complete. When it activates, it will destroy entire planets with one shot. Earth will be first, then all your colonies. Nothing can stop it. Daniel and Tasha looked at each other. The Starbreaker, a planet-killing weapon. This changed everything. Where is this weapon being built? Daniel demanded, turning back. The officer smiled cruelly again. That human you will never learn from me. Daniel left the brig, his mind racing. They saved Colony Gamma 7 for now. But a bigger threat existed. The Starbreaker weapon could end humanity forever. Call all senior officers to the briefing room, Daniel ordered. We need to plan our next move. If the Draconis have a planet killer, we must find it and destroy it before it is too late. The battle was won. But the war had just become much more dangerous. The briefing room was silent. Every senior officer sat around the table. Their faces showed worry and determination. Daniel stood at the head, looking at each of them. We have a serious problem, Daniel began. The Draconis are building a weapon called the Starbreaker. According to our prisoner, it can destroy entire planets with one shot. Dr. Patel spoke first. Can we trust what he said? Maybe he is lying to scare us. I don't think so, Tasha replied. I saw his face when he spoke about it. He was afraid. That fear was real. Zara leaned forward. If this weapon exists, we need to find it fast. Once it's operational, Earth and all our colonies are doomed. Exactly, Daniel agreed. But our prisoner won't tell us where it is being built. We need to get that information another way. How? Asked Lieutenant Chen from Weapons Control. We cannot just ask the Draconis nicely. Daniel pulled up a holographic map. A small red dot appeared in space. This is a Draconis outpost 70 light-years from here. It's a communication and data center. If information about the Starbreaker exists anywhere, it will be there. You want to raid it? Tasha asked. Her eyes showed excitement and concern. Not just raid it, Daniel said. We infiltrate it. We go in quietly, steal their data, and get out before they know we were there. Zara studied the map. That outpost has heavy security. Guards, automated defenses, security cameras everywhere. Getting in will be almost impossible. Almost impossible is not the same as impossible, Daniel said with a small smile. Zara, can you create a virus? Something that will confuse their systems while we download their files? Zara thought for a moment. Yes, I can do that. It will take a few hours, but I can make something that will scramble their security protocols. Good, Daniel nodded. Tasha, you will lead the tactical team. Choose your best soldiers. We need people who can fight and stay quiet. I know exactly who to bring, Tasha said confidently. Dr. Patel, prepare medical supplies for the team, Daniel continued. If things go wrong, people might get hurt. I will have everything ready, the doctor promised. Daniel looked at everyone. This mission is dangerous. We will be deep in enemy territory. If we are caught, the Endeavor cannot help us. We will be on our own. Does anyone want to back out? Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. They all stayed in their seats. Then we leave in 6 hours, Daniel said. Get some rest. Prepare your equipment. We have one chance at this. 6 hours later, a small stealth shuttle left the Endeavor. Inside were Daniel, Tasha, Zara, and 6 elite soldiers. The shuttle was painted black and had special technology that made it nearly invisible to sensors. They flew through space silently. The Draconis outpost grew larger as they approached. It was a massive structure of dark metal and glowing lights. Ships came and went constantly. Guards patrolled outside in spacesuits. Scanning for entry points, Zara whispered, even though nobody could hear them in space. She pointed to a small maintenance hatch on the lower level. There, that hatch is used for repairs. Security looks lighter there. Take us in, Daniel ordered the pilot. The shuttle drifted close to the outpost like a piece of space debris. It attached to the maintenance hatch with a soft click. Zara worked on the electronic lock. Her tools blinked and hummed. Got it, she said after 2 minutes. The hatch opened. The team floated inside. They found themselves in a narrow maintenance tunnel. Pipes and wires covered the walls. The air smelled like oil and hot metal. Gravity in 3, 2, 1, Tasha warned. Artificial gravity activated. The team dropped to the floor, landing softly on their feet. They moved forward carefully, weapons ready. Which way to the data center? Daniel whispered. Zara checked a small device in her hand. It showed a map of the outpost. Up 2 levels, then east corridor. About 500 meters. They moved like shadows through the maintenance areas. Twice they heard Draconis workers nearby and hid until the aliens passed. The tension was unbearable. Every sound made them freeze. Every corner could hide an enemy. Finally, they reached the data center level. But here, security was much tighter. Cameras watched every hallway. Guards stood at important doors. "We need a distraction," Tasha said quietly. One of the soldiers, Corporal Hayes, volunteered. "I can create a small explosion in the ventilation system on the other side of this level. It will draw the guards away." "Do it," Daniel approved. "But be careful. Get back to us safely." Hayes disappeared into a ventilation shaft. 5 minutes later, a loud bang echoed through the outpost. Alarms started ringing. Guards ran toward the explosion, shouting in their harsh alien language. "Now," Daniel commanded. The team rushed forward while the guards were distracted. They reached the data center door. Zara worked frantically on the lock while the others watched for enemies. Come on," Zara muttered. Her tools sparked against the alien technology. Almost there. The door opened with a hiss. They rushed inside and sealed it behind them. The data center was huge. Thousands of computer terminals lined the walls. Lights blinked everywhere. Data streamed across countless screens. "Find the main terminal," Daniel ordered. "We don't have much time." Zara ran to the largest computer station. She connected her portable device and began typing rapidly. "I'm in their system. Searching for Starbreaker files now." Outside, they heard guards returning. Voices spoke in angry tones. Someone had discovered the door was unlocked. "They know we're here," Tasha warned. She and the soldiers positioned themselves near the door, weapons ready. "I found it," Zara exclaimed. "Starbreaker project files. Downloading now, and I'm uploading the virus." "And how long?" Daniel asked. 2 minutes for the download. 1 minute for the virus upload." Heavy footsteps approached the door. Something metal scraped against it from outside. They were trying to force it open. "They're cutting through the door," one soldier reported. "Hold them off as long as you can," Daniel ordered. The door began to glow red where the aliens were cutting. Smoke filled the air. The team could see the cutting tool working through the metal. 90 seconds, Zara announced, her voice tense. The door burst open. Draconis guards rushed in, their weapons firing. The human soldiers fired back. The data center became a war zone. Energy beams crossed the room. Computer terminals exploded. Sparks flew everywhere. 60 seconds, Zara shouted over the noise. 2 human soldiers fell wounded. Dr. Patel, who had stayed with the shuttle, would need to treat them quickly. The remaining soldiers fought desperately, protecting Zara while she worked. 30 seconds. More guards poured through the door. There were too many. The humans were being pushed back. Download complete. Zara unplugged her device. Virus uploaded. Let's go. Fall back, Daniel ordered. Fighting retreat to the shuttle. The team moved backward, still firing at the advancing guards. They fought through corridors, leaving a trail of unconscious and wounded Draconis behind them. More alarms blared. The entire outpost was now alert. They reached the maintenance hatch. Corporal Hayes had returned safely and held it open. The team scrambled through one by one. The wounded soldiers went first, helped by their comrades. Daniel and Tasha were the last to enter. As Daniel climbed through, a Draconis officer appeared at the end of the corridor. Their eyes met for a brief second. Then Daniel sealed the hatch. Go, 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 he shouted to the pilot. The shuttle detached and fired its engines at full power. Draconis ships began launching from the outpost, chasing them. But the shuttle was small and fast. It weaved between obstacles, heading for the Endeavor. Endeavor, this is the shuttle, Tasha transmitted. Mission successful. We have the data. But we have enemy ships on our tail. We need covering fire. Copy that, came the response. We see you. Get ready for emergency docking. The Endeavor appeared ahead, its weapons already firing at the pursuing Draconis ships. The shuttle flew straight into the Endeavor's hangar bay. The door sealed behind them just as enemy fire struck the shields. All hands battle stations, Daniel commanded, running to the bridge. Get us out of here. The Endeavor's engines roared. The ship jumped to faster than light speed, escaping the outpost and its defenders. On the bridge, Daniel finally allowed himself to breathe. They made it. Against all odds, they survived. Zara brought her device to the main computer. Uploading the data now. Let's see what we got. The screens filled with information. plans, blueprints, construction schedules, and most importantly, a location. There, Tasha pointed. The Starbreaker is being built at a secret facility in the Antares Nebula. Daniel studied the information carefully. His expression grew grim. According to this, the weapon is almost complete. We have maybe 2 weeks before it becomes operational. Then we have 2 weeks to destroy it, Zara said firmly. Daniel nodded slowly. Set course for the Antares Nebula. This time we're not just gathering information. We're going to end this threat forever. The crew prepared for their most dangerous mission yet. The Starbreaker had to be destroyed. Earth's survival depended on it. The Endeavour traveled through deep space toward the Antares Nebula. On the bridge, Daniel studied the stolen data carefully. The Starbreaker facility was hidden inside the nebula, protected by dense gas clouds and electromagnetic interference. This place is a perfect hiding spot, Tasha observed, looking at the screens. Our sensors will be almost useless in there. That works both ways, Daniel replied. They won't see us coming either. Zara entered the bridge carrying a small glowing device. Captain, I found something interesting in the data. The Starbreaker has a weakness. During the final assembly phase, the weapon's core is exposed for exactly 30 minutes. If we strike during that window, we can destroy it completely. When is this window? Daniel asked urgently. Zara checked her calculations. According to their construction schedule, in 48 hours. Daniel felt relief and pressure at the same time. They had enough time to reach the facility, but barely. Any delay would be catastrophic. How big is the facility? Tasha asked. Large, Zara answered. It has heavy defenses. Automated turrets, shield generators, and at least 20 warships guarding it. We cannot fight them all head-on, Daniel thought deeply. One ship against an entire military facility seemed impossible. But they had no choice. Earth needed them to succeed. We'll use stealth, Daniel decided. We approach hidden in the nebula's interference. A small team infiltrates the facility, plants explosives on the Starbreaker's core, and escapes before detonation. That's extremely risky, Dr. Patel said, entering the bridge. If anything goes wrong inside, the team will be trapped. I know, Daniel admitted. That's why I'm leading the infiltration team myself. Captain, you're too valuable to risk, Tasha protested. Let me lead the team. No, Daniel said firmly. I won't order anyone to do something I wouldn't do myself. Besides, I need you here commanding the Endeavour. If we don't make it back, you'll need to complete the mission. Tasha wanted to argue more, but she understood. Daniel's mind was made up. The Endeavour reached the edge of the Antares Nebula. The nebula looked like a massive cloud of purple and blue gas, stretching across space like a cosmic ocean. Lightning-like energy flashed inside it constantly. Entering the nebula now, the pilot announced. Reducing speed for safety. The ship pushed into the thick gas. Visibility dropped to almost nothing. The sensors flickered and showed confusing readings. It felt like flying blind through a storm. Stay on course, Daniel instructed calmly. Zara, use the data from the outpost to guide us. Zara worked on her console, comparing the stolen maps with their current position. Adjusting course 5 degrees starboard? The facility should be 20 kilometers ahead. They traveled slowly through the nebula. Every few minutes, energy discharges lit up the gas around them. The ship shook from turbulence. But finally, through the purple clouds, they saw it. The Starbreaker facility was enormous. It looked like a massive metal fortress floating in space. The weapon itself was visible at the center, a long cylindrical structure covered in complex machinery. Ships patrolled around it in careful patterns. There it is, Tasha whispered. The weapon that could destroy Earth. Daniel felt anger and determination. Not if we stop it first. Zara, can you scan the facility? Scanning now, Zara replied. I'm detecting the exposed core exactly where the plan said it would be. The 30-minute window started 15 minutes ago. We have 15 minutes left. 15 minutes! Daniel exclaimed. We need to move now. Prep the infiltration shuttle immediately. The team assembled quickly. Daniel, Zara, Corporal Hayes, and 3 other elite soldiers boarded a small stealth shuttle. They carried explosives, weapons, and determination. Remember the plan, Daniel told his team as the shuttle launched. We land at Docking Bay 7. It's less guarded according to the plans. We move fast, plant the charges, and get out. No heroics. We complete the mission and return home. The shuttle flew silently through the nebula, approaching the facility from below. The Draconis patrols didn't detect them. The nebula's interference helped hide their approach. They docked at Base 7 without incident. The team exited quickly, finding themselves in a dimly lit corridor. Draconis workers moved cargo nearby, unaware of the human presence. "This way," Zara whispered, checking her portable map. "The core chamber is 3 levels up." They moved like ghosts through the facility. The corridors were filled with alien technology and busy workers. Twice they had to hide in storage rooms while guard patrols passed. Every second counted. Time was running out. Finally, they reached a large sealed door. Beyond it was the core chamber. "This is it," Zara said. "The Starbreaker's exposed core is inside." Corporal Hayes examined the door. "It's heavily locked. I'll need at least 5 minutes to bypass it." "We don't have 5 minutes," Daniel said, checking his watch. "We have 8 minutes before the window closes. Use explosives on the door." "That will alert everyone," Hayes warned. "I know," Daniel replied, "but we're out of time. Plant the charges. Everyone else, prepare for a fight." Hayes attached small explosive charges to the door's lock mechanism. The team took cover. The charges detonated with a sharp bang. The door blasted open. Alarms immediately started screaming throughout the facility. Red lights flashed everywhere. "Move," Daniel shouted. They rushed into the core chamber. It was a vast room with the Starbreaker's central core rising like a tower in the middle. Energy crackled around it. The core glowed with dangerous power. "Plant the explosives on the core supports," Daniel ordered. The team spread out, attaching their explosive packages to key structural points. Zara worked on the main support column, her hands moving with practiced speed. Draconis guards burst into the chamber, weapons firing. The human soldiers returned fire, protecting Zara and the others while they worked. "Charges set on Support 1, Hayes reported. "Support 2 ready," another soldier called. Energy beams flew across the chamber. One soldier fell wounded. Another took cover behind machinery, still firing at the advancing guards. "Last charge placed," Zara shouted. "Arming now. 30-second timer. Everyone out," Daniel commanded. "Fall back to the shuttle." The team ran for the exit, fighting through waves of Draconis guards. The wounded soldier was carried by his comrades. They fought desperately, knowing that in seconds the entire facility would explode. They reached the shuttle with only seconds to spare. The engines fired before the door even closed completely. The shuttle blasted away from the facility at maximum speed. Behind them, the explosives detonated. The Starbreaker's core exploded in a brilliant flash of light. The explosion chain reacted through the facility's power systems. Secondary explosions rippled across the structure. "The whole facility is coming apart," Zara exclaimed, watching from the shuttle's rear camera. The Starbreaker facility, the Draconis Empire's ultimate weapon, tore itself apart. The explosions were so massive they lit up the entire nebula. Ships nearby were caught in the blast, destroyed instantly. The shuttle raced back to the Endeavor, debris chasing them through the nebula. They docked just as a shockwave hit the ship. "Get us out of here," Daniel ordered, arriving on the bridge. The Endeavor's engines powered to maximum. The ship jumped to faster than light speed, escaping the dying nebula behind them. On the bridge, the crew watched the long-range sensors. The Starbreaker facility was completely destroyed. Nothing remained but scattered debris. "We did it," Tasha said quietly, almost unable to believe it. "The weapon is destroyed." Daniel nodded, exhaustion and relief washing over him. "Earth is safe. For now." Zara pulled up communication intercepts. "Captain, look at this. Draconis military channels are in chaos. They're reporting the Starbreaker's destruction to their high command. The leadership is in panic." "Good," Daniel said. "Without their superweapon, they've lost their greatest advantage. This is our chance to strike back." Dr. Patel treated the wounded soldier from the infiltration team. "He'll survive," the doctor reported. "We were lucky. It could have been much worse." Daniel addressed the entire crew over the ship's intercom. "Everyone, today we achieved something remarkable. We destroyed the Starbreaker. The weapon that threatened Earth and all our colonies is gone. But our mission isn't over. The Draconis Empire is weakened. Now is the time to press our advantage. We're going to take this fight to them. We're going to end this war." The crew cheered. For the first time since the war began, they felt real hope. Victory seemed possible. Tasha studied star maps, planning their next move. The Draconis homeworld is their command center. If we strike there, we can cripple their entire military structure. Then that's where we go, Daniel decided. His voice was filled with determination. "Set course for the Draconis homeworld. We're going to finish this once and for all." The Endeavor turned toward enemy territory. The last human warship was no longer running. No longer just surviving. Now humanity was fighting back. And the Draconis Empire would soon learn that humans never surrender. The final battle was coming. The Endeavor traveled through space toward the Draconis homeworld. The crew knew this would be their final battle. Either they would win and free the galaxy from Draconis tyranny, or they would die trying. Daniel stood on the bridge, looking at the star map. The Draconis homeworld was heavily defended. Dozens of warships orbited the planet. Weapons platforms floated in space like deadly satellites. Ground-based defenses covered every continent. "This is suicide," Lieutenant Chen said quietly. "One ship against their entire home defense fleet." "Maybe," Daniel admitted. "But we have something they don't expect. We have surprise, determination, and nothing left to lose." Tasha worked on battle strategies. "If we can destroy their central command center, their fleet will lose coordination. Ships won't know what orders to follow. It will create chaos." "Where is this command center?" Daniel asked. Zara pulled up detailed scans. "On the planet's surface. In their capital city. It's a massive fortress, heavily shielded. We can't destroy it from orbit." "Then we go to the surface," Daniel decided. "We infiltrate the city, reach the command center, and destroy it from inside." Dr. Patel shook his head with concern. "Captain, you barely survived the last infiltration mission. This one is even more dangerous." "I know," Daniel said, "but it's the only way. Tasha, you'll command the Endeavor. Keep the orbital defenses busy. Draw their attention away from the surface." "And you?" Tasha asked, though she already knew the answer. "I'm taking a team to the surface. We'll finish this where it started, on their home ground." The Endeavor approached the Draconis homeworld carefully. The planet looked beautiful from space with blue oceans and green continents. But Daniel knew it was the heart of an empire that showed no mercy. "Detecting multiple warships on patrol," Tasha reported. 23 capital ships, 47 destroyers, and countless fighter craft. "Launch all decoy drones," Daniel ordered. "Make them think we're a full battle fleet." Small drones launched from the Endeavor, each broadcasting signals that made them appear as large warships on enemy sensors. The Draconis fleet saw what looked like dozens of human ships approaching their world. Panic spread through the alien defense forces. They had just lost their Starbreaker weapon. Now a massive human fleet was attacking their home world, or so they thought. "It's working," Zara said excitedly. "They're repositioning their entire fleet to intercept the drones." "Perfect," Daniel said. "That's our window. Tasha, take the Endeavor and engage their fleet. Keep them busy. My team will use the chaos to reach the surface." Daniel, Zara, Corporal Hayes, and 4 soldiers boarded a drop shuttle. As the Endeavor began its attack on the Draconis fleet, the small shuttle slipped past the confusion and entered the planet's atmosphere. The capital city appeared below them. It was massive, with towering buildings made of dark metal and glass. At the city's center stood the command fortress, larger than all other structures. "Landing zone identified," Hayes said. 3 kilometers from the fortress. It's the closest we can get without being detected." The shuttle landed in an abandoned industrial area. The team exited quickly, weapons ready. The city around them was in chaos. Civilians ran through streets seeking shelter from the battle happening in orbit above. Sirens wailed constantly. "This way," Zara said, checking her map device. "We need to move fast before they organize ground defenses." The team moved through the city like shadows. They wore stolen Draconis uniforms taken from the outpost raid, allowing them to blend in from a distance. Several times they passed groups of alien soldiers, but no one stopped them in the confusion. Above them, the sky flashed with explosions. The Endeavor was fighting brilliantly, using hit-and-run tactics to keep the entire Draconis fleet occupied. But Daniel knew Tasha couldn't hold them forever. They reached the fortress perimeter. It was surrounded by a high-energy barrier and guarded by elite soldiers. Guard towers watched every approach. "We can't fight our way through that," one soldier observed. "We don't have to," Zara said with a slight smile. She pulled out a small device. "Remember the virus I uploaded at the outpost? It's still in their systems. I can use it to create a temporary gap in the barrier." She worked on the device for 2 minutes. Then a section of the energy barrier flickered and failed for exactly 10 seconds. "Go, go, go," Daniel commanded. The team sprinted through the gap. The barrier reactivated behind them just as guards noticed something was wrong. Alarms began sounding at the fortress. So much for stealth, Hayes muttered, raising his weapon. They fought their way into the fortress. Draconis guards appeared from everywhere, but the human team was prepared. They moved with precision, covering each other perfectly. Their training and desperation made them unstoppable. Inside the fortress, they navigated maze-like corridors. Zara guided them using the stolen facility maps. They went deeper and deeper into the structure, fighting past multiple security checkpoints. Finally, they reached a massive sealed door. Beyond it was the central command chamber. "This is it," Zara said. "The brain of their entire empire is behind this door." "Open it," Daniel ordered. Zara worked frantically on the door controls. Outside, they could hear more guards approaching. Time was running out. The door opened with a deep hum. Inside was a vast chamber filled with holographic displays and command stations. Dozens of Draconis officers worked at consoles, coordinating their empire's military forces. At the center of the chamber stood the Supreme Commander himself. He was even larger than other Draconis, with battle scars covering his scaled skin. His eyes showed no fear, only cold calculation. "Humans," he said in perfect English, "you are more persistent than we expected. But this changes nothing. You cannot win." "We already have," Daniel replied firmly. "Your Starbreaker is destroyed. Your fleet is in chaos. Your empire is falling." The Supreme Commander laughed. "One battle means nothing. The Draconis Empire has existed for thousands of years. We have conquered hundreds of worlds. You are just one more species that will be crushed." "We are humans," Daniel said, his voice filled with pride. "We don't give up. We don't surrender. And we protect our own." He raised his weapon, and his team did the same. The Draconis officers in the chamber drew their weapons as well. For a moment, nobody moved. Then chaos erupted. The chamber became a war zone. Energy beams crossed in every direction. Consoles exploded. Holographic displays shattered. Daniel fought his way toward the Supreme Commander while his team held off the other guards. The two leaders met in the center of the chamber, exchanging fire at close range. "Your species is weak," the Supreme Commander snarled, his weapon smoking. "Then why are you losing?" Daniel shot back. While the firefight raged, Zara reached the main command console. "I'm in their system," she shouted over the noise. "Uploading a massive virus now. This will shut down their entire military network." "How long?" Daniel called back, still fighting. 2 minutes." The Supreme Commander realized what was happening. He tried to reach Zara, but Daniel blocked his path. They fought hand to hand when their weapons ran empty, each refusing to back down. 90 seconds, Zara announced. More Draconis guards poured into the chamber. The human team was being overwhelmed by sheer numbers. 2 soldiers fell wounded. Hayes was hit but kept fighting. 60 seconds. Daniel managed to throw the Supreme Commander against a console. The alien leader was dazed but still dangerous. He pulled a blade and lunged forward. Daniel dodged and grabbed a piece of broken equipment, using it as a weapon. They fought desperately, knowing everything depended on these final moments. 30 seconds. The guards were closing in. The human team formed a defensive circle around Zara, protecting her while she completed the upload. 15 seconds. The Supreme Commander knocked the equipment from Daniel's hands. He raised his blade for a killing strike. But Daniel was faster. He rolled aside and grabbed a dropped energy weapon, firing at point-blank range. The Supreme Commander fell. "Upload complete," Zara shouted triumphantly. "The virus is spreading through their entire network." Throughout the fortress, throughout the city, throughout the entire planet, Draconis military systems began failing. Ships in orbit lost power. Weapons platforms went offline. Communication networks crashed.